So obviously this is Tendril by Simon Fiedler, and I just wanted to tell you about it briefly before I do the rig update. Basically this is a modified version and I've got to revert this to the original. I've mailed Simon and he's happy for me to release the update, so all I've got to do is revert it a bit because obviously this is modified. But I think this is still fantastic, so I'm going to get this out as soon as possible. And I've updated the rig and I'm not going to make any further updates to it because I've kind of got to move on. Now I hopefully will do this quite quick. So what have I changed? I've changed the option to unlink the collider, so you can just whack the collider size up and it just gives you some options. And the outer surface spawn has new options. So I've turned that on. So there's a few particles there. If we whack that up, I'm not sure what the, oh there you go, there is a limit, but you can obviously change that in the user data. Now where are we looking for? Collider surface, probably in collider. So we've got two fields in here and there's this tag here. So if I turn this top field on, okay, there we are, it's happy now. And what else are we going to have to do? Possibly parameters. Might have to whack that up, and in the remapping you might want to put the inner offset up. They're just spherical fields roughly in place. And where if we come to collider surface, I guess, and drop that in here. There we are. So we whack up the inner offset, we should get a few more particles. And then if we make this bigger, we'll get loads more. And you can of course do the same with the bottom one. Bottom field. And then in the remapping, so that's that. And these are just being carried by the collider, so in theory as it resizes they just keep pace. So what's next? The outer surface. I haven't coloured the center or the outer surface, and the center, those are just matrix particles. This wasn't set to After Effects and it is now. And get on to these kill options. And there's only kind of like, there's one thing that I didn't have time to finish about this, and the user data doesn't let you set a negative value as a minimum. So you can't set a minimum, you can't set a Y height below 100. At least I don't think you can, maybe you can. Yeah, there you go. Just because it makes sense. But what you can do, if you want a really tiny band, you can set this one to positive 50. And wait a minute, kill above Y as well. There you go. So you can get a really small band, but obviously this is, the intention is that you put negative numbers in here, but it's just one of those things that for example, if you put 400 in here and 200 in here, and actually turn them on, it's like auto disable cache, isn't it? It's easy to forget these things. I notice software companies do, despite reminders. So there you go. I kind of think that's almost it in a nutshell. Okay, might as well just do a couple of really quick things. I hadn't put the tag on the collider because obviously I assume a certain degree of people diving in, so I have now put that on there, and this obviously now functions correctly. The particles are being pushed apart, but a couple of odd object placement things might as well go into. I'm going to do fairly extensive kind of like, oh look, at you can do this and you can do this and you can do this, that and the third. So but I was a bit unwell a month ago, and unfortunately it's back, but at least now I know what it is, because there's only one thing left. It could be so now then, can we just, if we just put a, say we put a soft body tag on here and just come in here and change the gravity. Oh, we haven't got any. Okay, this project file hasn't got any gravity. Okay. So we just got that in, and I'm not sure we want quite that much upward, if that's right. Yeah, it should be upward, shouldn't it? So these should just go up, shouldn't they? There we are. Now it doesn't work as well as doing the rigid bodies, setting their initial state, but if you just current state to object those and then pretty much get rid of them, and then delete the tags. Okay, and then give them their tags back. You get soft bodies starting on you. Oh yeah, that's not going to work. Wait a minute. If we now change your gravity, you've got soft bodies that begin on the ceiling. So honestly, as usual, I hope people have found that useful. I'm going to do my best to come and do a fairly extensive, oh you can do this quite quickly, like if you want to do mundane stuff like twisting rope, you can just literally clear this out and hang it from the roof